Well, Yamaha came out with theirs, and the AMA was saying that we're going to make a gas rule and this and that. And I know, talking to Mitch Payton, he was saying that you guys are going to ruin the class. There's not going to be more 125s because we're going to make these things so fast that you guys are not going to believe. And that's what he did. Those bikes were so fast, so much faster than our bikes and the 125s that it was difficult to compete against. Watching Bubba, the talent that he has. He only had maybe 2 starts that were decent. The other ones he had to come from way far behind. And when he did ride the 250F at Glen Helen, I read a comment that he asked the guys at his team, was I even racing out there? Because it was so easy. And if you watched him, it just showed how easy it was. Because you're putting his talent on a bike that's twice as good as the 125. Well, you saw the results.
Well, I mean, 4-strokes were never really heard of, 4 years ago. Yamaha came out with their 250F to compete in the 125 class, to where it could give it a little bit more of an advantage, and everybody thought that it was kind of a stupid idea. 4-strokes have so much more limitless opportunities that nobody's ever tapped into, versus a 2-stroke that, pretty much these bikes are maxed out. They're running on the edge every single time that we go out.
When you ride a 125, you got to ride so much on the edge. You always got to be on the gas. You're always, revving the bike, and it just takes so much energy to ride one fast.
A 4-stroke is so much easier to ride, so much easier power delivery. I mean, everything on a 4-stroke is a lot easier.
Ride a 250F, you can use the power, you can ride higher gears, you can slow down, you can almost double time to go faster, and I guess you don't have to be so precise on a 250F as you do on a 125, so it's a little bit more forgiving, and it's the same thing on a 450 as against a 250.
I like it, at first it took me a while to get used to it, but I think you've got to have it. Stewart's on a 125. I think some places it's better on a 125, and some places better on a 450 or 250F. It's for sure the starts are better on the 4-strokes, but I feel some places in the corners and stuff I could ride a 125 better. 4-stroke, has so much torque. You go into the corner and get on it and wants to stand up. 125, you can just make it go wherever, and I think that's where Stewart passes out people, because he can cut inside, outside, go wherever he wants in the 125. And 4-stroke, even Ricky will say, it's hard to do that.
I think guys are still out there on 2-strokes because, factories want them out there still to push that line of their, of their product. I don't think 2-strokes are going to become extinct in the next year or two, but 4-strokes are the new generation of our sport.
I guess Bubba was the last one to probably win on a 125, and if someone shows up on 125, they're pretty stupid. Unless they're getting paid a lot of money to ride one, but I would never ride one again, no way.